Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. Morning, afternoon, evening. It's, as Jimmy Buffett once said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So, hope you're having a good 5 o'clock somewhere, and everyone else is having a good morning. And just wanted to quickly talk about crypto because I think it's still such a new phenomenon. And gold's been around 2,000 years, the stock market's been around for 150 years, whatever the case is. And then you got this thing called crypto. It's been around for 15, 16 years, at least in the context of what we know it as. And the big question is, what do I do? Like, how do I get involved in this in a strategic way that makes sense, that's wise, that's long-term thinking? I'm not talking day trading. It's not my cup of tea. There are a lot of people out there that do that. They teach you how to trade. I don't touch that stuff. I don't touch it because I just don't understand it. And I don't do things I don't understand. And I think that's a perfect segue into getting involved in crypto, because crypto requires an understanding. And if you don't understand it, you're just like FOMOing into something that you have no idea about. You're going to FOMO in as fast as you're going to FOMO out. And that's the truth. Because you can't possibly stomach something you don't understand. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you look at crypto, and you look at Bitcoin particularly over the last 15 years, all you see is extreme volatility, right? Extreme volatility. What do I mean by that? I mean, when Bitcoin hit its peak in 2017, it went up to 20,000. And it dropped back down to 910 in a matter of such a short period of time that if this had happened in the stock market, I think people would have, abandoned the stock market and never gone back. Because people would have, obviously a lot of people got crushed. The longs got liquidated and things like that. But the bottom line is, the first thing is understanding. Education is critical, right? And I don't mean textbook education. I mean, you've got to immerse yourself in these things, right? I never felt like college gave us the education we needed to really handle real world circumstances. It doesn't teach you to run a business. It doesn't teach you how to really do accounting. It doesn't teach you how to do the things that you absolutely have to do from a methodical, technical standpoint. It gives you all the theory behind things, and it gives you some, baseline of sort of how to get started. But at the end of the day, you have to get your hands dirty when it comes to anything that you want to study and learn. You have to dive headfirst into it. And so crypto is no different. You really want to invest your time and energy into understanding this asset class. What is it? What am I really truly doing here? What am I risking? What am I risking by doing it? What am I risking by not doing it? Right? Because it's both ends of the spectrum, right? There's risk on both sides. And personally, I think if I'm going to get involved in crypto, which I personally have decided to do so, I've done it because I know that the risk of not getting involved is far greater than the risk of doing it, of avoiding it. And so I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for me, is to tell you, I think you should do it. And I think you should dollar cost average in, and you need to learn what these things mean. I can't sit in a 5-minute video and tell you what that means. But all I can do is set the tone and say to you, go now and study it. Go now and open your mind to what this truly is. And I don't mean dabble in it, right? I mean immerse yourself. Michael Saylor, and if you don't know who that is, you're really at sort of like the baseline, then you need to go study who Michael Saylor is. But if you know, which a lot of people who are searching for crypto now are at that point where they can understand something. Michael Saylor says you need to spend 100 hours, 1,000 hours. Malcolm Gladwell said you need to spend 10,000 hours learning something. So you decide how many hours you need. What matters is that you finally truly understand what it is that you're doing. In the sense of, I understand the risks, I understand the rewards, I understand what it means to stay in the market for 5 or 10 years. I've got the stomach for it because I understand the upside. When you start to have that vision, you no longer have that fear of, oh, I don't understand this, so I'm going to panic sell when things don't go well, right? It's also true of owning a business. If you start your first business, there's a high probability you're going to fail. But by the third business, you've learned of what it takes to stomach the ups and downs, what it takes to wait 18 months to make a profit. And so this is no different. It's just a different asset class, and you have to understand what this asset class is all about. Now, the second point I wanted to make is, all right, now you're understanding what it is. Where do I put my money? I feel like there's a lot of altcoins out there that are eventually be worth nothing. There are those in the top 10 and 20 that are probably going to be around in the next 5 to 10 years. XRP more likely going to be one of them. ADA, Cardano, not really sure. Ethereum, it's the base layer of everything that's meaningful in development today, from tokenization, DeFi, smart contracts. I mean, Ethereum is Ethereum, and if anyone's trying to fudge you out, I think you need to stay away, and I think you just self-educate yourself on what Ethereum really is, because a lot of people are going to get out of Ethereum, and I think potentially could be a huge regret. But I'm not a financial advisor. You do your own study. This is my personal take on what Ethereum is. And last but not least is Bitcoin. I don't think you should have a stake in anything unless you have a small percentage in Bitcoin. Perhaps even 50% of what you invest in crypto, or 75% should go into Bitcoin. And people are like, well, I don't have the money. I don't have $100,000. I don't care what you have. If you have $100, you put $80 in Bitcoin and $20 in altcoins. That's my take. I'd go even higher. I'd say 90-10, right? 90% Bitcoin, 10% altcoins. Now, if you have a huge conviction in some other altcoin, then you could go ahead and do that, but I don't recommend it. It's my take, but you do your own homework and make a decision based on what you think is sort of like the best idea for you. So just wanted to leave you with this. Hopefully you can do your own homework, but don't get involved in things you don't understand. Study things. Dive deep into something. Once you understand it, you'll have a lot more conviction and confidence in what you're doing. Have a great day, everyone.